Hello students, this is Nirupam Jyoti, your English teacher. Dear students, today we will be doing the chapter The Last Lesson by Alphonse Daudet. Alphonse Daudet was a French novelist and a short story writer. This story is set during the Franco-Prussian War in which France was defeated by Prussia. This lesson emphasizes the importance of the mother tongue for everyone and the need to realize the fact that it is our language which gives us our identity, respect, and freedom. The narrator of the story is a young school-going boy called Franz. That morning, he was very scared as he was late for school. Moreover, the teacher, M. Hamel, had given him a homework on participles, and Franz said that he did not know anything at all about it. So he knew that he would get a scolding from the teacher. Franz was very afraid to go to school. So an idea comes to his mind that he should skip the school. But anyhow, he starts from home for school. And on the way, he found that birds were chirping on the branches of the tree. It was a fine morning. And just then, his attention goes towards the drilling Prussian soldiers behind the sawmill. He finds it very attractive, but he has this temptation, and at the same time, he says that he could resist this temptation. बच्चों अब उसके मन में आता है कि स्कूल ना जाया जाए, लेकिन इस बात को वो दबा देता है ये जानकर कि स्कूल उसको जाना है। आगे की ओर चलता है और उसको वॉचर नाम का एक ब्लैक स्मिथ आवाज लगा के कहता है, नो नीड टू रश टू स्कूल, यू हैव प्लेंटी ऑफ टाइम देयर। फ्रांस को लगता है कि वो उसे टॉन्टिंग कर रहा है एंड ही रशेस फास्ट टुवर्ड्स द स्कूल। स्कूल पहुंचने पर फ्रांस को पता चलता है कि आज का दिन कुछ अलग दिन है। वो सब और देखता है तो उसे शांति लगती है। Like other days, it used to be a bustle everywhere. And today, Franz is himself saying that he had to count on the commotion. क्योंकि फ्रांस के पहुंचने से पहले क्लास सेटल हो चुकी थी। The teacher was already in the class with a ruler in his hand. He had to make it an effortful thing for himself to get silently towards his seat. That is why he is saying he had to count on the commotion. Franz was ashamed of being late and feared a scolding as he had to enter the classroom in front of everyone. Now he finds it very strange that M. Hamel did not say anything and on the contrary asked him to get to his seat as the class was going to begin without him. फ्रांस जल्दी से अपनी सीट ले लेते हैं। जैसे ही वो अपनी सीट पर बैठते हैं, फ्रांस का ध्यान अपने टीचर की ड्रेस की तरफ जाता है जिसे वो बहुत ही स्पेशल डेज पर पहनते थे। मे बी इट वुड बी अ प्राइज ceremony or some inspection in the school. He used to wear that green embroidered dress. So now he was very much perplexed. What is special this day? फ्रांस को माहौल बहुत क्लास का सीरियस लगता है and then all of a sudden his attention goes towards the last benches of the classroom which were occupied by Hauser, who was also wearing a three-cornered hat, the retired mayor and the postmaster. सभी के चेहरे पर एक उदासी थी। हौसर के हाथ में अपनी पुरानी किताब थी जो कि फटी हुई थी और उसने वो किताब खोली हुई थी, अपने घुटनों पर रखी थी और चश्मे लगाकर उसे पढ़ने की कोशिश कर रहे थे। फ्रांस को कुछ समझ में नहीं आता। इतने में एम हेमिल खड़े होते हैं, पूरी क्लास को एड्रेस करते हुए एक सीरियसनेस के साथ, Mr. M. Hamill बताते हैं that it was the last lesson of the French as an order has come from Berlin that German would be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. जैसे ही ये बात एम हैमिल क्लास में अनाउंस करते हैं, फ्रांस को ये शब्द एक थंडर क्लैप की तरह लगते हैं, एक बोल्ट की तरह उसे स्ट्राइक करते हैं। फ्रांस को रियलाइज होता है कि अब वो कभी भी फ्रेंच नहीं सीख पाएंगे और उसका ध्यान जाता है उन लोगों की तरफ जो बुलेटिन बोर्ड के बाहर इकट्ठा हुए थे, क्योंकि वो यही न्यूज़ पढ़ रहे थे और स्तब्ध रह गए थे। Now France regrets that he was never serious towards his studies and he always wasted his time in hunting birds' eggs and playing in the Sa River. फ्रांस को याद आता है कैसे वो अपनी किताबों को आज तक एक अनवांटेड बर्डन समझते थे। ना ही वो कभी किताब लेकर स्कूल आते थे, लेकिन अपने टीचर की ये बात सुनकर उनका जो रवैया था अपने सब्जेक्ट की तरफ, अपने टीचर की तरफ बिल्कुल बदल जाता है। फ्रांस को अब समझ में आता है कि बैक बेंचेस पर सभी शहर वाले क्यों आए हैं, बिकॉज दे हैड कम देयर टू पे देयर रिस्पेक्ट एंड थैंक एम हैमिल फॉर हिज सर्विस ऑफ 40 years इन दैट स्कूल। अब फ्रांस की बारी आती है, टीचर उनसे पार्टिसिपल के बारे में पूछते हैं। जैसे ही टीचर उनको कहते हैं, फ्रांस को शर्मिंदगी महसूस होती है और वो सर नीचा करके खड़े हो जाते हैं। फ्रांस now feels ashamed of himself and he did not even have the courage to face the teacher. But M. Hamill did not scold him this time and he says that it is not only your fault. M. Hamill कहते हैं, it is the mistake of the people of Alsace who always postponed their learning. Now he questions to the people sitting at the behind that how can you claim that you are French people when you even don't know how to read or write your language? He tells France that everyone is at fault in this and he alone should not feel a guilt for this. Mr. M. Hamill सभी पेरेंट्स से कहते हैं that they were never interested to get their children educated. Rather, they preferred to send them to some mill or a farm to earn some money. Mr. M. Hamill ये गलती अपनी भी मानते हुए कहते हैं that he was also at fault as he sent children home for watering the garden plants or even made it or declared it a holiday whenever he wanted to go for fishing. After this, Mr. M. Hamill continues and he talks in at length the significance of mother tongue. And for French language, he says it is the most beautiful, the most clearest, and the most logical language in the world. He tells the class to guard their language as it is the only way to free oneself from the prison of slavery. He says that if a person knows his mother tongue well, no one can enslave them. Knowing the mother tongue well as a language is a tool to fight foreign domination. क्लास आगे कंटिन्यू होती है, ग्रामर की क्लास चलती है एंड दैट डे फ्रांस वाज सरप्राइज्ड कि उन्हें जो भी समझाया जाता है वो उसे समझ पाते हैं, ना ही उन्हें उस दिन अपने टीचर की बात स्ट्रिक्टनेस के साथ लगती है। He feels that he is interested and therefore he is grasping every bit of the chapter in grammar which is being taught to him. एम हैमिल पूरी क्लास को छोटी छोटी न्यू नोटबुक्स देते हैं और उन पे लिखा होता है फ्रांस एल्साज एंड दे हंग लाइक ब्यूटिफुल स्मॉल फैग्स इन द क्लास. Now the class switched over to the writing task given by the teacher, and it was now that only the scratching of the pens over the paper could be heard. and some beetles flew in the class and nobody paid attention to them. सबका ध्यान अपने काम पर है. एक मॉस्किटो आता है, एक बीटल आती है, and nobody even dares to look towards it. And just then, Fran's attention goes towards the pigeons sitting on the roof of the class. And an idea strikes him. And Franz says, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? Even Franz as a child had an understanding that language comes naturally to a being. How can they force a human being to stop speaking in their mother tongue? This cannot be imposed on the birds. On pigeons, how can a human being be robbed of its mother tongue? फ्रांस का ध्यान अपने टीचर की तरफ जाता है जो कुर्सी पर एक ही टक होकर बैठे हुए हैं, मानो वो अपनी सारी यादें जो उस स्कूल में उन्होंने समय बिताया है उनको याद करने में लगा रहे हैं. His attention goes towards the creepers, to the walnut trees that once he would have planted with his own hand. And just then, the sound of moving trunks overboard were heard. And this was a signal that packing was going on and the time was coming when they have to leave forever. And now, a lesson in history followed by phonetics where they recited the sound of alphabet. Franz referred to the class as babies because although they were grown up, they were reciting the lesson of phonetics, which is usually done by younger children. And now, the class was. Hauser had put on his spectacles and he was holding the primer in both his hands, reciting the letters with the class. उनकी आवाज कांप रही थी और ऐसा लग रहा था वो कभी भी रो देंगे. The class had a mixed feeling. Some were laughing at the way Hauser was reciting the sounds and some were choked towards the going of the teacher. क्लास चल ही रही थी इतने में चर्च की बेल बज गई और 12 बज गए. And now the prayer in the church called Angelus, it started, and actually it was time for the class to be over. It was a time when the last lesson of French was over. Just then, the sound of the trumpets played by the Prussian soldiers who were returning from the drill was heard. M. Hamill's face became dull and colorless as the time had come for the class to get over. He stood straight and motionless, and Franz says that he had never appeared to be so tall. M. Hamill began to speak, but he could not continue as he was overpowered by his emotions. He took a piece of chalk and wrote the words Viva la France, meaning Long live France, on the blackboard as large as he could. Then he stopped writing, bent towards the wall, and without speaking anything, signaled the class to leave as the class was over. The last lesson was over. I hope students you have understood the story of the chapter. This chapter is based on the idea of linguistic chauvinism. Which means that one's language is superior to that of other. In other words, it refers to the imposition of one language on the other. Language is considered to be the cultural identity of the people who use it. When Franz says, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons, he's actually trying to question that when even the birds and animals can't be forced to abandon their language, what forces a man to enforce a language on others? So in the end, we can say that this story revolves around the concept of language and the importance to preserve our mother tongue, to preserve our identity indirectly. When we read this chapter, we come to know a fact that we value something. Humans value something when it is lost. The pain and anguish which the students feel when they are told that their mother tongue will not be used anymore in future, they come to realize the actual importance of what they were being taught for years, and they ignored it just because of their habit of procrastination. So through this chapter we come to know the importance of our mother tongue, what it holds for each one of us, and the need to realize the fact that it is our language, it is our mother tongue which gives us our identity, respect, and freedom. I hope students you have understood the chapter. Thank you.